Hello there. Hey, I'm Mike from musicradiocreative.com and welcome to a brand new edition of Music Radio Creative Live, the show where I answer your burning questions about audio. Whether you're in the world of podcasting, perhaps you're a DJ, a radio host, a voiceover artist, or just an audio producer who's fanatical about making good audio, this is the show for you. You can submit your question to get answered on this show over at community.musicradiocreative.com or call it into our voicemail hotline on 415 800 1055. Now, just before we get into it, it's a good question today from Brian in Hong Kong, wondering how I can set up Audition, Adobe Audition that is, for recording two different channels when interviewing a podcast guest, for instance. Very good question. This show is brought to you today by the Pro Podcast presets from Music Radio Creative, designed by myself, Mike Russell, to make your podcast sound great. Go to mrc.fm/ppp, get them now for your podcast, and this is how it can make a podcast sound good. It gives you all the channels in beautiful color-coded order. So you've got a channel for your host, talk over music, intro and outro, co-host, Skype guest, another guest, sound effects, and some mix down and master channels. So all you have to do is mix down the final result and upload it to your media host. It really is as simple as that. That's the beauty of going live. Someone is at the front door right now as I go. There goes the Ring doorbell. But I'm sure someone else will grab that while I hop straight into the show. So I'm going to show you not only how the Pro Podcast presets work, which you can get right now at mrc.fm/ppp if you're interested in upping the sound of your podcast, but I'll show you how they work in practice for recording things in to the Multitrack. So, first of all, I want to set up my podcast host, and I'd select this little icon here, which has the arrow pointing to the right, suggesting it's an input, and I'd go to mono channel, and in this case, on my mixing desk, channel 3 or input 3 is my microphone, this one here. Okay, so that's nice and simple. You might have an audio interface with maybe 4 inputs, maybe even just 2 inputs. Whatever you've got, just use the inputs on your audio interface. I know it's channel 3. And also you can set up your audio interface overall in the Preferences Audio Hardware section. And this is where you'll be able to choose. In this case, I've got my Soundcraft Signature 12 MTK mixing desk. But for you, you may very well be using a Scarlett 2i2. Again, it can work with this. You just get different inputs when you drop down the menus here in the Multitrack. And I've got loads of other stuff. Built-in mic, my HD Pro webcam C920, a few loopbacks and mix minuses I've created in Loopback from Rogue Amoeba, but I'm using the Soundcraft there. So when I arm this to record, it should pick up my levels, and indeed it does. Now, because of latency, if I actually turn up the fader for Adobe Audition, you'll hear me speaking back on myself. Echo, echo. You see? So that's how it works. So best not to have your input monitoring up if that's the case, but you can record into there, picking up my levels nicely. And then I might want to say, okay, on my podcast co-host channel here, I'm going to add a different input. It's going to be a mono input, and it's going to be input 1 on my mixing desk, which I happen to know is this cheeky Heil PR40 microphone. So now if I arm that to record, hello, you'll see when I tap this mic, it will peak. You see, now I've got my podcast co-host set up to record there. And finally, a Skype guest. Oh, yeah, why not? Now, I can arm that to record, and I can set the input as, in fact, I think I already have done, analog 9 on my mixing desk. And if I make a call to the Skype test call, you'll see how it works. So I'm just going to pop that microphone out of the way for the moment and bring it in a second, and I'll show you how this would work in the Pro Podcast presets in practice. Hello, it's Mike here, and you're listening to the Music Radio Creative Podcast. We're going to call a really exciting call today to the Skype test calling system. Let's try it. Hello, speak.
After the beep,
Oh,
please record a message.
nice.
Afterwards, your message will be played back to you.
Hello, I'm just calling the Skype test calling system to show exactly how it works with the Pro Podcast presets. Hope that's okay. Hello, I'm just calling the Skype test calling system to show exactly how it works with the Pro Podcast preset. Thank you.
If you are able to hear your own voice,
Yes.
then you have configured Skype correctly.
Good.
If you hear this message, but not your own voice, then something is wrong with your audio recording settings.
All right then.
Please check your microphone and microphone settings or visit skype.com for more help. Thank you for using the Skype call testing service. Goodbye.
You're super helpful, Skype. Thank you very much. So you'll notice how my input on my main microphone is appearing up here on this top channel. All the channels are red at the moment to indicate I'm recording them live. Skype, as you can see, appears down here in the bottom. And then if I bring over the Heil or lean over and talk into the Heil, which is just here. Hello, this is the co-host. And you can see the co-host is appearing there, right there on the podcast co-host channel. Stop recording and let's disarm to record all those channels so we no longer get any feedback. Turn up Adobe Audition and you'll see how everything works. So first of all, you've got my audio on track 1. Hello, it's Mike here and you're listening. Notice there's a bit of funky echo reflection. That's because I've got both mics on. So if I cut out all of the audio I don't need on the co-host channel, that should solve that. Hello, it's Mike here and you're listening to the Music Radio Creative Podcast. And it does. And then obviously we've got Skype here.
Hello. Welcome to Skype call testing.
There it is. And then over here, which is just here. Hello, this is the co-host. Let's solo that co-host. Hello, this is the co-host. And you'll hear my audio through the Heil microphone. Notice the decrease in quality compared to my TLM 103. Hello, this is the co-host. And then going back to my TLM 103, soloing that. All right then. And obviously you've got Skype there. So all of these are separate channels now that you can edit at will. So if I want to just cut this bit out and cut this bit out and do some nice fades like that and cut that bit out as well and do some nice fades there, I can do. If I want to go into the waveform view and take a look at the whole track, this is only the Skype recording. So none of the host. You can't hear any of the host there, only the Skype. See, that's the Skype ding. And then, of course, I can normalize that as well. Make that normalize, which is brilliant. I can normalize this by going into this track here. And it's recorded the whole track, as you'll see. A little bit of low audio there because, of course, the mic was picking me up in the background. But I can normalize this. And I can normalize my host channel like so. So really, really cool and easy stuff. Once I've got this all good, turn that off solo. I'm going to select everything, Command A. Or Control A if you're on a PC, and then you would match clip loudness to allow the Pro Podcast presets to do their magic at a target loudness of -16 LUFS. Boom, done, fantastic stuff. Now it should all be processed nicely. Hello, it's Mike here. There's the introduction. Here's the Skype call.
Hello. Welcome to Skype call testing service.
So that all works, and then here I am. Let's just cut me out there and cut me in here. And you see how easy it is to edit in this template. Really easy to see how things work. And hello, this is the co-host. That's the co-host. And one final thing I should show you in these Pro Podcast presets, seeing as I'm using them today and enjoying using them. Let's pick a piece of music. Well, that's nice. What about this or this? Okay, I'll go with that. Pop that into talk over music, and what will happen is, let's have it so it fades out when the Skype call comes in. This will auto duck just by the fact that I've put it into the talk over music channel in the Pro Podcast presets. Let's listen. Hello, it's Mike here, and let's just match the clip loudness as well. Make sure that's on the right level. Hello, it's Mike here, and you're listening to the Music Radio Creative Podcast. We're going to call a really exciting call today to the Skype test calling system. Let's try it.
Hello, welcome.
Now, notice how that was ducking the music. I can actually disable that effect to show you what it'd be like without the auto ducking. Hello, it's Mike here, and you're listening to the Music Radio Creative Podcast. So music competing with the voice, switch on auto ducking. Hello, it's Mike here, and you're listening to the... And you can hear a significant change in the level there. If I was to, let's export some stems of this right here. Where are we? Export, is it multi-track mixdown or session mixdown? Let's try session. Do we want to do that? Let's look. Where are we here? It's always good to have a mind blank, isn't it, on a live session here? I think we've got a session. Save copies of associated files. You can do that. No, that's not exactly what I'm looking for, though. Entire session. Aha, there we go. The entire session. And we can do that. Right, yes. Everything's here. Mixdown. Now, there is a mixdown option here rather than an entire session. I'm going to switch that off, and I'm going to mix down the stems. That's what I wanted. Podcast host, talk over music, co-host, and Skype guest. Click OK. Going to save this into my downloads folder if I can. Wait for that all to mix down, as surely it will do. Surely it's not going to take 4 minutes. Surely not. Oh, maybe it is. In fact, what I'll do to try and speed up this process is cut the rest of that out and literally just mix down that little selection. So let's export Multitrack's mix down, time selection. And again, we want the current time selection only, and we want just the podcast host and talk over music. And that can go into the downloads folder. Let's try that. Let's do this. Let's rename that. Okay, now we've got some stuff mixing down here, and we can see here the music is indeed being auto-ducked in comparison with everything else. Look at all the different stems we've got there. But you can definitely see how the music is definitely being ducked in comparison to the voice. So really, really cool stuff going on there. Anyway, if you want to have an experiment for yourself and record loads of different inputs into Adobe Audition, go ahead and do that. I really hope, Brian in Hong Kong, that has been of use to you. Go and experiment for yourself with these Pro Podcast presets. You can grab them now at mrc.fm/PPP.